Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Hot Now here on the Open at MarketStream.live. This is where I, Joe Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock, will take a look at all the opening action here in the domestic markets here in the United States. So welcome, everybody. I hope you're ready for a great trading week. Taking a look at the markets right now, you have the Dow Jones up 88 at 19,246. You have the Russell 2000 up 1330 at 1326.70. You also have the NASDAQ up 24 at 4762.50, right around 4762.50, fluctuating here and there. And you have the S&P futures, the D's contract up at 2,275 cents, up 875. So we're up above that psychological 2,200 level. You also have crude futures up 43 cents at 52.11. It is going through those resistance levels right now and is trending higher this morning. Dollar weakness here. The U.S. dollar is trading at 145 cents. And finally, gold down 850. That safe haven trade is down at 1169.30. And you're also seeing that the bonds are down just a bit. With the 10-year right now trading at about 124 and 6 pips, and then you also have the 30-year trading at 149.26. So we have a market that basically is in the green from the security side, in the red from the safe haven side. What's this stemming from? Well, all of you know the Italian constitutional reform was voted down. It was voted down no, and it was about at a 60% margin. So the pollsters were right, but the margin of how right they weren't thinking that that referendum was going to pass so significantly. What also occurred then is Prime Minister Renzi, he did step down. He honored that. That means that basically since this reform policy that he put out for the vote didn't pass, he's out. This leaves some instability there in the political format there in Italy. This also means that not only are you going to see that the Italian markets are going to be trading a little bit more volatilely. As a matter of fact, looking at the MIB, which we talked about this morning on the overnight action at 8:30 Eastern time, trading down about 1.2% this morning. You're going to continue to see that the banking sectors in Italy are going to be definitely trading mixed, initially on the downside, because there is a lot of uncertainty on now how the recapitalization of these banks, which are in dire need. You have a GDP to debt ratio of 130%. So the ECB is going to have to step up here, and we're going to have to see how that actually falls out. Now, what did quell some other fears in Europe as far as what's going on in the political process, we did see that Austria had an election. I know we're talking about Austrian elections, but there was a more moderate middle center to left candidate that was elected in. So you're seeing this sense of nationalism that is sweeping through the global community right now was quelled a little bit. So we're going to see what happens here with Italy, but you can see that now the focus is going to be on France and Germany going into their January elections. What's also been on the move is, as I said, crude. In the beginning, it's trading at 52.20. This is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. The PMIs, the purchasing managers indices globally, both in Asia, Europe, and here in the United States, have been coming into on the upside. That means that these purchasing managers are expecting growth. That also means that there could be further consumption of oil. Now, what's notable is we're going to keep an eye on the draws or gains in the supplies here in the United States. Watch the EIA report. It's going to be coming out on Wednesday. You're also going to be watching the economic reports out of China, especially since President Trump has done something that no other president has done in the last 3 decades, which is he talked to the Taiwanese president. That now has China on alert. That's an insult to them. That had markets on edge overnight. They firmed up, obviously. Europe did finish in the red, but not by much. And as a matter of fact, India bounced back because they were open up a little bit longer than the other 3 major markets in Japan, China, and Hong Kong, which allowed them to consume what was happening in Europe. And the European markets actually rebounded after the initial no vote in Italy. Now, taking a look at what's hot, let's take a look at some earnings action. GW Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol GPWH. Now, we talked about this in Tech Talk on Friday at 3:30 Eastern Time, so you can go back and watch that recording. Stock's trading at 112.32 right now, up 2% into the open off of its close from Friday. We reported that the options were pricing in the potential to move around $16.98. Well, the stock is up basically about 4 and some change, so about 25% of that market move. But that market move was through the expiration of the December options, so we still have 11 days until those options expire, and they're still pricing in the potential for this stock to either move up or down around $17. Some notable areas that we're going to watch closely on this one is if the 20-day moving average, which is at 121, gets pierced, if we can get some upside, as well as 123, that's the 50-day moving averages. If you start to see that the stock with some volume starts to take over and surpass those moving averages, we could see a stock that's trending to the upside. It's interesting, folks, this is a cannabis stock. They do some interesting new developments using cannabinoids as therapy. And so with the new referendums that were voted in post this election on the state level, with more states now legalizing cannabis, this could be an interesting area to start looking at. There's a lot of investment that could be potentially going in here, so that's why we brought it up to light. In the mergers and acquisition space, Consolidated Communications is acquiring Fairpoint. Small little communications play here, but what was interesting is Fairpoint went out on Friday about 14% lower than where it's trading today. This is a consolidation that's going to strengthen both balance sheets, and this is the type of merger and acquisition activity we want to see, where you're going to see that if they can increase cash flow, reduce debt, these are the types of activities that you want to keep an eye on for potentially out there. Interesting one, and we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if there's any other further activity that comes up. Also, in the upgrades front, we see that we have some traditional, let's say, consumer discretionary retail names. First one, Mickey D's, McDonald's. MCD is the ticker symbol. It's trading at 119, up about 1%, 119.20. Right now, the weekly options are pricing in between today and Friday that this stock could move about $2.14, either up or down. We're going to keep an eye on this after the upgrade. Nike also came out, was upgraded. NKE is the ticker symbol. It's trading at right around $51. It's up 1%. The weekly options are pricing in the potential for Nike for this week to move either up or down $1.10. It's already up 1% today. Let's keep an eye on this one. Finally, Visa. Taking a look at ticker symbol V, 76.60 is where the stock is trading, and the options are pricing in the potential for Visa to move plus or minus $1.92 this week. Finally, we had some downgrades, two that are notable. Marble Technology, ticker symbol MRVL. Stock's trading down today right around $13.55, down about 2%. Now, the options are pricing in the potential between now and Friday for this stock to move even further. Let's see if there's some profit taking or some selling in this stock now with this recent downgrade. But the options are pricing in roughly a 49-cent move either up or down on this stock. That translates basically into about a 2.5% move being priced in right now. Let's see if vol increases now with this downgrade as well. That would mean that there's a heightened expectation of potential violent moves either up or down in this stock. Last stock that we're going to look at that's hot on the open, Alcoa, ticker symbol AA. Stock's trading right now right around $28.92. It's down about 1%. The monthly options that are expiring in in December are pricing in for the next 11 days that this stock could be either up or down about $1.84. Very interesting. You're basically seeing about a 7% move being priced in Alcoa. So we're going to keep an eye on that. That's a good barometer on the infrastructure side since this is a metal play, a materials play. So we'll take a look at that. All right, folks, that's it for what's hot now on the open. Please join me at 1:30 Eastern Time, where I am going to be doing strategy now. I'm going to cover everything that's happened into the midday, give you some ideas going into the close, and you can always go back and watch all of this at MarketStream.live. We have all of this archived. And please, give us some emails. Give us some feedback after you watch this. info@MarketStream.live. Thank you so much. Have a great trading day, and we'll talk to you soon.